YouTube, it's Brian Phillips. We've got something new and super exciting for you today. This is the Vector SR80 Pro from Volantex. It is a huge and super fast 4S capable. You can use two S's like we got in ours, or you can put a 4S in there. Water cooled, got these weird knife things in case you need to cut your salami. And then we also have the transmitter, which we did, full disclosure, have to provide our own 4 AA's. No throttle cut, so don't stick this where the sun don't shine. Also, this is supposed to self-right, but since there's no reverse, I'm sort of nervous. And that might be the only fatal flaw with this, but we're gonna find out right now.
Is there a button for the self-righting?
Nope. Oh, yeah!
Okay.
Yeah, that's the fastest boat we've ever had.
Goodness.
And they don't have a reverse on it, which means there's no braking either. Holy cow. Wow. So guys, that just happened. That's pretty awesome, okay? So I'm just gonna show you, you don't have to drive it like a maniac. Camera crew, why don't you get on the rock? Let's see if the rock helps. That is so pretty. I do need to trim a little bit. By the way, if you need to trim, there's both steering trim and throttle trim. My sticker's coming off though, which is kind of lame. By the way, don't be afraid to get on it when the camera crew is close so that you can spray her with water.
Perfect.
Because that will, wow, that really moves quick if you wanted to. Holy cow. Oh, wowzers. And yes, you have a big rudder to work with.
Oh my gosh.
Rooster tail. So guys, I gotta say, super maneuverable. I see why they didn't put reverse on it now, because you don't need stanking reverse when you've got this good a control authority. And I gotta say, wow, that thing is anxious. Watch this, boom! Yeah! Who needs to turn? You just kind of flop wherever you wanna go. So I gotta say guys, Volantex makes a mean boat, wow!
Uh-oh.
So it's supposed to self-right. So, oh, that is so cool. You just give it throttle and it goes. Oh, that was so sweet. So, by the way, guys, we're running this on the provided batteries. I'm just gonna show you less power. Here's less power. That's like, you know, I'm actually being careful. It's a no wake zone. Oh yeah, no wake. I think I might destroy the pond by doing this. Jeez.
Okay, my turn.
Okay, camera crew. All right, so there she is. She's
well,
ready.
I didn't need to be on camera. I just wanted to drive the boat.
She doesn't want to be on camera, she says. Okay, do it. Careful, careful. No, get away from the bank. Oh, man.
Okay, we have to go stand on the dam so we can drive all the way to the end.
Exactly, that's true. Okay, do you want me to film you walking or do you want to film me walking?
No, we'll switch here.
Okay, all right. Just bring her into the middle. By the way, it is a little bit, full disclosure, it's a little bit windy right now.
It is a little bit.
So because it's a little bit windy, we're having to be a little bit more careful. And by the way, in case you guys want some frogs, there's billions of them here on our property.
Everywhere you step.
Every
the ground just moves.
In our entire property. By the way, if you didn't already know this, this is the dam runway. It's just, we have to overwinter a freeze-thaw cycle so that settling occurs on this dam, and it will be flat. And then there's gonna be a dam gift shop there, and there's gonna be a road there, and there's gonna be a helipad up there. And then probably like a gazebo or something over there. So if you guys are curious and you wanna see this all unfold on Brian Phillips RC, please stay with us. Because the truth is, we don't just talk about doing stupid, ridiculous, over-the-top things, we actually do it. And that's why you're probably watching right now.
Stay away from the shore.
I know, well, I was a crash. I mean, it's that they call it accidents for a reason. Wow, you cover a lot of ground with this boat. So by the way, if you guys are curious, this is a 0.81 acres of pond. And I gotta say, the thing is very good, very fun. But then it does that. Now watch this, guys. Throttle, and that's it. That's all you gotta do. Wow. It just literally works. I do need a little bit of trim though, steering trim. I'm trying to get my steering trim worked out. So the steering trim is right here. So I'm just gonna, see how it's kind of listing? It's probably just because the batteries are over there. There we go, a lot better now. Now when I get out of the stick, it just goes right where I want it to be. And by the way, I am super excited to be doing boats, guys. This culminating experience for us, for Megan and I, being able to use this. This is so much fun. The kids are gonna absolutely love. You guys hear the beeping?
Beeping.
I put a voltage alarm in. Under load. Let's do this. Okay, see, it turns a little bit less sharp to the right than it does to the left. Nope, to the right, it's a little tighter. Okay, get it up on, get it up. Come on, let's make a little whirlpool. And I'm listening for the chime. I didn't hear it again.
I don't hear it now.
You suppose because it's wet or something? I love that noise.
Yeah.
So much fun, folks. So if you've never driven a boat, an RC boat, I gotta say, this thing will definitely float your boat. And you need to get one like ASAP.
Oh
Holy cow, that is so much fun. What is going on? Where have you been all my life, Volantex RC? So if you have a little retention pond in your neighborhood in suburbia, or, whoa! Wow, did you hear that growl? Listen, it's beeping.
Oh, now it's beeping. And you set that for 3.3?
3.3. So I'm just gonna shore it now, guys. So folks, all I've got to say is she's on the ground now.
Wow.
So amazing,
That was cool.
So much fun. Look at the water. It's like there was a jet ski in there. I am so excited to be bringing this to you, not only because we're super proud of this accomplishment called the pond, it's the first large capital building project we've done for the aerodrome on Brian Phillips RC. Now, you may be seeing this and thinking, who cares? It's your backyard, Brian. I care. It's awesome. And you know you do, because it's going to be so cool when we have a landing strip here. And then we have another functional apron that's around our little airport-ish area that's over here for agricultural use only, obviously, and definitely not for full-scale aircraft that are going to take off of the full-scale runway right there, in case you work for the county. But just to be clear, we also will be using it for agricultural implements, because we are farmers by trade as well as YouTubers and other full-time employees at businesses, in case you work for the IRS. We just want to cover our bases here, but if you work for the FAA, you know where you can put it. In the air with the airplanes, because we love the FAA. Keep us safe. Anyway, so runway here, extensions, okay? It's gonna be awesome. The wind will be terrible here, but it'll be perfect on the main strip, which is getting extended just as soon as I can get a contractor who will show up and give me a bid for lots of work. And when that happens, then I will start crying, and there will be tears that I'll be wiping from my face. It'll be like this. Yes. And you guys can help console my tears by buying one of those amazing boats, or a Carbon Z Cub, or an FMS product of some sort, like an F7F, or a Spectrum NX10, or whatever it is that you love.
Or an iX20.
An iX20, go for the iX20 if you want. At the end of the day, we don't care what item you want to get, but we want to help you vet it, and we want you guys to get the most out of it. Whether it's just a boat, whether it's a tank, or a voltage alarm. Whatever it is, and I don't know if you guys can pick it up, but it just went off. Yeah. So it was actually a good joke, but if you can't hear it, it's just gonna sound like an idiot, like most of the time. So guys, thanks so much for being a part of this. It's really real, and it's gonna get more real, and a lot more real in the next 2 to 3 years. The aerodrome is going to literally happen out of thin air. But I mean, who needs to retire, you know?
Right.
I just want to work till the day I die. And then if I just, you know, maybe a few years after too. All right, guys, you remember the crying.
Yeah.
That Volantex boat is awesome.
That was
the
cool.
SR80, right?
Yes.
Vector?
Yeah.
By Volantex.
Whoever recommended that one, good recommendation.
2 thumbs up. This thumb's also up. I'm not just holding the transmitter. All right, that's all you get for tonight, guys. Pond is coming along. We got to build a dock still. If you have dock ideas, let me know. We would love to hear your ideas. And by the way, if you've never seen our discharge, there's 2 discharges here. Some people have asked questions. Those are 30-inch by 44 feet long. This is 36 inches by 96 feet long. It discharges right there. And then beyond that, we have what's called a stilling pond, which is actually just a dam of 30 tons of construction. It's like 5-inch sub rock. And I hand moved about half of that pile, and you can't see all of it.
There's
it's also submerged.
Discharge.
Yep. And so when this overfills, there's a 5-inch differential between the bottom of that and the inlet of this.
Yep.
So when there's 5 inches or more going through this, it starts sharing the water load, and then that water goes out and around and goes through foliage and then comes out about where that dam is. So it actually bypasses.
Waterfalls this whole side when it's coming out.
No,
really fast.
it doesn't. We actually have a berm now.
Yes, that's true. There is a
got
berm now
But
here.
you can see where the water is going to go because there's a little bit of silting. Even though the grass is sort of starting to come up, it's not all the way up.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to turn this way just for wind's sake. So at the end of the day, we want you guys to hear answers to your questions, but we really don't know what they all are. And we've been living this for so long that we just sort of assume you know, kind of like the RC manufacturers assume you know how to set everything up through osmosis and not through experience. That's why you're here. And we're gonna help you have a great experience, or at least we hope we will. And if you guys see me drive a boat and you think I think it's El Lamo, I may tell you the positive things about it, but you can tell if it's lame. Okay, that's why you come here. You see if it's real. I'm a real guy. I get excited about things that you're gonna get excited about. So when you do buy this, you're gonna know that we help direct you there. So make sure you follow the link. That's the #1 way you can support us. Also, Patreon for monthly support, YouTube super thanks to YouTube members, also invited, and then PayPal for one-time donations. But really, buying the stuff is what we want you to do, because then we win while the manufacturers that we happen to support win while you get the boat. And all you have to do is just tell your wife about those snakes that you found in the basement, and then that there was some sort of a weird attack from like the UPS or FedEx guy, so she should not answer the door for her safety. Anyway, more bad ideas. Stay tuned. Unbox next. Vector SR80 Pro from Volantex. This thing is super fast and awesome. Radio controlled, ready to run. All you have to do is provide the AA's. We'll show you in the unbox portion, so stay tuned. We're gonna run this again. We actually have 2 runs. Not 100% sure which ones you're gonna see, but we're gonna go ahead and launch it right now, along with all the frogs in the new pond. Amazing! This thing will self-right. We're just gonna do a little relaxed drive. As you know, we do a lot of relaxed things on Brian Phillips RC. Like this! Oh yeah! That thing is fast, holy cow! Awesome, and very good maneuverability. We figured it's glass calm on the waterway. And so this would look super cool. Oh yes! Loving the rooster tail. Loving the performance. This thing is just second to none. One thing I can say, look at the turning. You can pretty much turn on a dime, but yet if you want to taxi up by the shore and spray the camera crew, if you're really careful, you might get the rooster tail in time. Love it. I love how fast you can turn the thing if you want. But also, I gotta say, having the water so smooth is actually making it kind of hard to control right now. It's so stinky cool. Oh, right next to the beach, the homeless shelter. You guys see our little homeless camp here? Should I try to drive under it?
I don't know if you can.
Uh-oh. There is no reverse on this boat, I forgot.
Turn quick.
Oops, I went on the shore, guys. Okay, so we're gonna go across and we'll give you a shot from the homeless camp. So if you guys are brand new to Brian Phillips RC, we just built this pond on our property, okay? And it's awesome, and yet we're spending a lot of time cleaning things up. And so the other day, I found a giant spider in this very spot, and I'm not kidding you. It was like this big, and everybody thinks I'm full of crap. So when I find it,
yes,
I'm gonna put it on camera so you guys can see. And it was in the water right there, and you have never seen a fat dude in a pedal boat break plane and fly like an airplane. I almost fell out of the boat. It was hilarious. So come with us on Nature Walk. Nature Walk, you guys have been on this little area before, but since we're gonna clean it up so that this waterway backed up as part of the pond. And so when we do different boats, we're gonna try to fly them through this little area. And as you can see, a little overgrown right now, but it's just rained all day today. And so I've been out working, literally was covered, soaked for like hours today working. And this bridge, we built this years ago because we needed to be able to cross the waterway to stay on our lot. Then we bought the lot next to it, so then we didn't need it. And yet it's still awesome. So guys, That's the view of the beautiful pond. And if you want to come with us, camera crew, we'll continue on to the beach where we built a temporary dock. That's right, temporary. It's temporary in that we actually ordered a dock today.
Yes.
So it's super exciting. The dock is coming. It's gonna be amazing. We can't wait to share it. We're gonna have many strategic boat, watch out for the rocks, camera crew.
Yes.
By the way, those rocks were rocks that were excavated during the build of the pond, okay? Yep. So, as you can imagine, they could have found bigger rocks. They could have found all sorts of crazy things, but they found what they found, and we're gonna utilize those too. So the water level's high. I don't know if they can hear it, but it is running right now. It is
running, yes.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna walk along our beautiful shore here. This is a beach, and there's probably fish down there wondering what the heck just flew through their little area.
Yeah.
And so what we're gonna do is we're just gonna share a little bit of this every time we do a video. Do you guys see this beautiful dock? Look at this thing.
That's
absolutely gorgeous dock.
Temporary. If it didn't have the green strap on it from this side, it would not look bad.
But listen, all I've got to say is, if it was sunny right now, you'd be able to see like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of fish.
Something must have scared them away.
There's something right there. There's a bunch of them.
There's tons of little baby fish.
So guys, the Vector Pro. I was gonna try to drive under this thing, but let's film from it. You ready?
Okay.
That way I can potentially spray the camera crew.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Look at that thing, absolutely gorgeous. Oh, yes. Now, just full disclosure, you don't want to shoot down that pipe there, because if you go down that pipe, it's going to be a bad day for me, because I'm going to have to go get it out of the pipe. Guys, love the controllability. It does take a second to get spooled up. And by the way, don't forget to hook up the hose. There is one hose you have to set up, and that hose is the hose that basically cools the motor and ESC. So that's full throttle, yeah, baby! Okay, now there's also a switch up here, and I don't know if we're in 70% or if we're in full speed. We're gonna find out now. So as you can see, it's a little bit slower now, so I think this is probably the 70%. Actually, I can't tell, is that faster or slower? Let's give it full throttle. Here we go, full throttle. Come on, get on with it. Man, it's just so fun to drive this thing.
Seems pretty fast still.
The funny thing is, you would think that since you have no reverse, that it would be like scary to drive, but I gotta say, it's really not scary to drive. It feels like you're in control. Even when crazy stuff like that happens, it's no big deal, because really all you do, look at that thing we just created. That's so nutty. Ooh, and it's raining now.
Mm-hmm, it is.
So here it comes, guys. Here it comes, super slow. That's like how fast I move when I'm late for work. All right, let's try it again. Yes, it's so fun. It's supposed to go, is this 80 kilometers an hour?
No, I think it's
400 kilometers an hour, you say?
Definitely. 70 or 50.
So it's like, I think we figured it was like 40 miles an hour.
Yeah.
So it's definitely, this is a no wake zone, obviously. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna keep the wake down by going really, really fast and not getting caught.
Gets from one end of the pond to the other pretty darn quick.
Yeah, wait till we're doing like an even faster boat. It's gonna be nuts, guys. So all I got to say is we've had so much fun filming so far, and we haven't even hardly done much footage yet. You hear the beeping?
Beeping.
That is a voltage alarm that I put on one of our 2S batteries, and as you can see, the rain's picking up.
Oh,
so we're just gonna shore it and just show you the thing has enough power to get up the shore. No problemo, folks. So if you want to find an amazing experience, look no further than the Vector SR80 Pro. It is so much fun. It is so fast. It is so cool. And we have an Unbox build radio setup for you. We hope you'll check it out. So stay tuned. If you want to help support Brian Phillips RC, look no further than the links in the video description below. That's all you got to do. Follow the link, buy the plane, heli, boat, whatever it happens to be. You're going to help support us in all the crazy RC shenanigans that you see right here on Brian Phillips RC. Thanks for watching. Come back for more.
YouTube is Brad Phillips.
What do we have here? Looks like it could be an airplane.
It's heavier than you were
But
expecting.
you never know. On Brian Phillips RC, we do more than just airplanes. Sometimes we do leaf blowers.
Oh, it could be a leaf blower.
Or tractors. And I have been advised by people that know things about stuff to not do that. And you know what I do?
We don't listen to them.
Completely ignore their good advice.
Sorry, you.
And I just do amazing, hold on. I just do amazing products. Just like, oh man, that's a staple, I think. Oh, this thing is in there. Hold on. I just do amazing products that I'm gonna cut out the other end.
Just keep not looking at the thumbnail or the title.
Don't look
Hold
at
on,
either of
just a
them.
second.
This has nothing to do with it. So in case you guys were wondering, you've already seen this thing happen in real life, but I don't know how awesome it is, so I just have to express my enjoyment with this boat. Amazing. Okay. This is the Vector SR80 radio-controlled pro racing boat. It's definitely not pro. It's for amateur reasons in case the FAA is listening.
Luckily, they don't care about this.
Put some wings on it and they will.
I will.
If it's capable of sustained flight. Okay, so what you do is Brian throws it into the water.
Upside down. Yep, that's normal.
Then it flips over and then you smile.
You don't have to
Self-righting feature to keep the boat from capsize. Instead of worrying your boat to capsize, you can just enjoy the fun of running a speedy rocket on water.
Oh, well.
They obviously proofread that.
Okie dokie.
From Volantex RC. Volantex. 70 kilometers per hour. So that's not as much as miles per hour.
Okay.
And it does look pretty awesome. So we're gonna open it up right now. Upgraded power system. It's got a durable unibody hull. Auto self-righting. What else? Meter hardware or metal hardware. It's kind of ripped in the box, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're just gonna pull this. Uh-oh. Oh no.
What?
Oh no.
It's a choking hazard, not for children under 3.
What are you supposed to get a kid under 3?
Good thing we don't have a pro racing boat.
Gracious.
But I always got my 3-year-old.
That's obviously a 3-year-old gift.
This our 3-year-old would
The
have
Chinese are
taken
missing the mark again.
that. Are you having trouble opening that?
It doesn't open the way I thought it was gonna open, I'm sorry. What the heck is with this? Oh, it folds like this, okay.
All right. That's why you watch an unboxing.
Oh, it's beautiful. I don't know what this is, but I think it's the lid. Oh, it's the lid. Wow, that thing looks awesome. That is a huge EFC. Okay, so this one is evidently ready to run.
Took a step up from the pool boat.
Wow,
Jeez.
that is gorgeous. Got a nice, here, grab my dinghy.
This dinghy?
Yes.
It's kind of small.
I'll put this right here while I feel inferior. I got a pistol grip. 2.4 gigahertz.
Okay.
There is some sort of a power switch. I'm assuming that's power. Oh, nope, this is power. Off, on.
Okay.
Don't know what the heck that is. This is steering reverse and throttle reverse, and then bind. Okay, so there's a button down in there. You have to kind of reach in with like a screwdriver. And then this must be the dual rates. There's a disc brake in there to simulate a disc brake of a car. So this is steering and throttle trims are up here with little rocker switches. Looks pretty much like what you expect to see on a ready-to-run boat or car. Nothing special, nothing really too terribly difficult to work with. I wonder if those are lights. I guess we'll find out in a minute. Oh, thank God. I needed one of these.
People, stop sending us foam we don't need to keep.
If you put it in the boat, there's less likely to float or less likely to sink.
Right.
Okay?
Oh.
That's the rudder.
Is there assembly required?
Evidently.
Okay.
Okay, and then there's this thing, which is in case you're going in series or parallel, I'm assuming. There's some Velcro.
Okay.
All right, so what else is in here, guys? We're just working our way through the unbox. Okay, it comes with this. Now, admittedly, oh, that's a charger. Okay, so the charger is in here. It's like quite literally taped inside of the box, but it's like, it's a thing in and of itself. But this comes with the boat. right?
Right.
Okay, so there's the boat, and it comes with the battery, but I gotta get this battery out of here. Oh, so you can run this on 4 or 2 cell. So if you run it on 2 cell, use the jumper, and that makes the series connection into just a regular connection, okay? And you can run this on 4 cell. Oh, so it comes with 2 5200, 2 cells, and this is a charger that they send with it. So I'm gonna show you the charger, and then admittedly, I'm probably gonna use my normal chargers. I don't mean to be dishonest or anything, but when we do these reviews, we wanna show that stuff works, but just so you guys know, I mean, like it didn't come with this utility knife from Masterforce. This is guaranteed to fail for life from Nards. What?
It is. It's true. And we'll take it back every time.
Okay, so we've had chargers like this before. This should be a standard 2 or 3S charger. Okay, so it's made as a surplus. Is that what that is?
No, just Su Plus.
Su Plus, okay.
No, Su Pulse.
Su Pulse. And then power and charger, 2 cell or 3 cells. So 2 cells got 3 wires, and then 3 cells got 4. So these are obviously going to be for us 2 cell packs. So what we'll do is we'll charge one of them on this. We'll show you what it looks like.
Okay.
And we'll always take this moment to talk about LiPo safety. LiPos are one of the most dangerous things in this whole apparatus, aside from the prop. Don't stick anything in this that you want to get cut off. It will be a bad day.
That you don't want to get cut off.
I would hope we agree on some of these things, but that's all right. All right, so we have this cord here, which is the AC cord ungrounded to the AC plug. So we'll just plug this in, okay? Then this is gonna go into the wall outlet, okay, just like that. And while that gets fired up, I'm gonna grab an XBC battery checker, XBC 100 smart checker, I should say. Then we'll line this up, it'll show us our voltages so you can see where we start. So it's a 40% charge, 3.82 roughly per cell. And then this one's at 3.83, good enough. I'll go ahead and plug this in, show you how it works. So these are keyed, but one of the most dangerous parts of this hobby is LiPos in general. Okay, so it says it's charging. That's pretty cool. The light does sort of line up over the 3S, but it's just saying that it's charging in general.
Yep.
Okay, so we'll see what that voltage is. Now this is an XT60 plug. If you have an XT60 plug, and you want to use one of the smart chargers that we normally use, then what you would do is you would just use an adapter like this, like this, and you will stick it into there like that, and then you will stick this in like this, and then it'll come up with the, then you just need to set the speed a little bit faster than that probably. This is a 5200, so we could go at 5.2 amps. Does it say what C rating it is?
50C.
Oh, it's 50C? Oh, we could probably charge that even faster, which what we're gonna do, because we need to get out before the sun sets. So why don't we go double that? So we'll do 10.2 or 10.4. It's only 10, it's 2C, it's not that big a deal.
Okay.
So you guys know how that works? So there's a C rating. The C rating is how fast it can discharge, and that's the 50C part. Has to do with how fast it'll discharge, the general quality of the pack, the build of the pack. And then there's the C rating, which is also a C rating. Who designed this? I don't know, probably the Chinese. That has to do with the charge rate of the battery, not the discharge to the load end. So either way, if you have a 50C pack compared to a 30C pack, compared to a 15C pack, compared to a 100C pack, compared to a 75, it's gonna, generally the bigger number means they're more expensive, they have more quality materials that are going to protect the cells from each other. These are soft packs like what we use in airplanes. This is a hard pack. That's a hard pack in a 5000 30C. You guys see how much bigger that battery is? Mm-hmm. Just to give you an idea, a basis for comparison, okay? Now I could plug this IC3 end into the XT60 that's on the boat, but I just want to show you kind of the difference.
Yeah.
So since this is a ready to run boat, or at least it's been sold with the package offering, I'm not sure which way it is actually on
There
this.
are a couple of different offerings.
You can pick whichever option meets your fancy. But at the end of the day, what I'm getting at is the general safety practice is to charge these where attended.
Right.
You want to be able to see and hear, potentially smell. If there's a problem going on, you want to be able to respond. On a hard surface, you're gonna mitigate most of the risk to, you know, making a mess, okay? On a surface like this, you might wanna have a fire suit, okay?
So do we need to charge that one faster, or because we're gonna need them both at the same time?
Oh, okay, so we'll just give you an idea. This one's charging twice as fast or better, because this is only gonna charge 3 times 2200, so 22 or 2000 milliamps. Okay, so it's gonna charge at 2 amps. So this is gonna barely be up from where it was when we started. This was 3.82 before, 3.865, okay? So it's gone up. We've proven that it works. We don't mean to be deceptive in any way, folks. When we do this stuff, we have no reason to deceive you. We want you to have good information that's actionable. Oops, that didn't work. You gotta get the right polarity. Hey, look, another one, nice, very nice. So now I'll charge this one here. Now, the other thing is if you add like an S155, this is 55 watts, 1 channel. This is 200 watts, 2 channels. And then if you really, really want to go fast, you can get like a super expensive one like this. But I find myself almost never using it because this one is just so dang handy.
Yeah.
And by the way, we have enough capacity on this charger to charge them both, I think. Yeah, see, I could go way up. I'm going to charge this one at 10.2 as well. So 10.2 is probably a pretty safe bet. And you just scroll in whatever current, oh, it was actually 10.4 is what I did the other one on. So we'll do 10.4 and we'll go down to start. Once it starts, you can see the charge level, and then I can go back over to channel 1. We can see the charge.
Yeah, 81% on that one.
So by the time we're done with this boat, it's gonna be done. Now, again, full disclosure, this is what comes with it. Just wanted to prove that it does work. This does not come with it. And I want to prove that this works, because if you don't have an XBC 100 smart checker, you should get one. That also acts as a servo tester, and you can test things like ESCs and all that stuff too. So pretty much anything that we need to test, you can test. Okay, so we're gonna pull this out finally. Oh, it's so dang beautiful.
Wow.
Oh, it's gorgeous. So happy to see you, get to know you. It's the Vector SR80 Pro. And if you look inside of here, so obviously we're gonna have to get the rudder installed, because the rudder obviously goes in here somewhere.
Okay.
Oh, it comes off the back here. Yeah, and then this linkage slides in. So we have to look at the instructions to make sure I get it right. Oh, this might go here. Yeah, that goes there. That's kind of weird. The rudder's off to the side. Very interesting.
Yeah.
It does come with tools to assemble a boat stand as well, and then there's just some more foam blocks in here and instructions. While I untape this thing, camera crew is going to look through the instructions with you all at home. If you're brand new to Brian Phillips RC, one of the best things you can do to support the channel and all the stuff we do for RC is by buying amazing products that you see on our channel, whether they're featured here or you see a link that we've shared and maybe you haven't even enjoyed the video yet when you decide to buy. Then you can follow the links in the video description, or you can follow the links on brianphillipsrc.com, and we can get you in front of the different vendors that sell them. And when you buy them from them, they pay us commissions. That's how this works.
Always replace your shaft when it gets damaged. And lubrication is vital.
Well,
So,
the Chinese got some things right.
oh, here's the rudder installation. There's a little not at all confusing diagram.
I don't really think I need it, but that's okay. You want to show it to me?
Sure.
Okay.
I'm sure it's what you already know.
2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so guys, here's what we're gonna do. Okay, look, watch. Okay, 4 pieces. Let's see if I can figure this out. Put me on Survivor. I can do it. Jeff Probst, if you're watching, can you do the Survivor where I sit in a hotel? And you feed
And
me
eat
every day?
Yeah, I'll do that Survivor.
See this? Okay.
That's a boat stand.
There it is. There it is, guys. That's amazing.
They're
Amazing.
gonna be easier to store than airplanes. Just saying.
Okay, tell me that when we're up to 300. Oh, okay, so a couple things. We need to get 4 AA's. They were not included. We're gonna pause and do that. All right, so we got 4 AA's. This should be pretty self-explanatory to anybody who's in this technical realm. Flat goes to the spring side and then pushes across. If you're like mom trying to help your kid or whatever and you don't understand these things, don't ever feel like we're trying to talk down to you. because the truth is we know everybody starts somewhere and we want to help you have the information, which is why we do the long format content where we show all the steps, okay? If you're already in the know about RC, then some of the stuff we say on this channel is going to come across as very basic. It's okay. Everybody needs to start somewhere. Okay, so I turn it on. You can see that there's a light there. It says LED. That's what it says,
okay.
LED.
Great.
Okay. All right, great. So there's really no activity to speak of. I accidentally bumped my throttle trim, which you'll want to be careful about that when you're grabbing your steering wheel to not bump that. I'm going to go ahead and turn this back off. It's done. Now, I kind of blasted through this quickly, but this boat can run on 2S or 4S evidently. So this is a jumper. So you see this electronic speed control, how it's got 2 plugs on it? There's 2 XT60s and these will go in series. So if you have a 4S pack, you can plug it in right there, or you can use 2S packs. But I don't believe this thing is gonna really run that great on 2S. It's probably not enough to initiate the ESC is my guess. Okay? I don't know that for a fact, but this is just speaking from experience, and I do actually have quite a bit of experience with this stuff, even though you guys have seen mostly airplanes on this channel. I've done a lot of boats, cars, and trucks over the years. We just don't do as many on the channel. We have a new pond and we're super excited about it, so we're just gonna take full advantage. All right, so also there's a huge servo here. Looks like a standard size. Wow. 2.4 gigahertz receiver. We have throttle, rudder, aux 1 and aux 2. So I don't know what the auxes are gonna be used for on this application, but should we decide to use the auxes, I don't really see any other, this might be one of the auxes. That might also just be a gain for rates, but I don't really see any way to function the additional channels. So just keep that in mind. Also, I wanna talk about the Velcro. Okay, so there's a bunch of different ways you can skin this cat. And I think what we're gonna have to do is these are Velcro. And what we're gonna do is we're probably gonna go ahead and take shelf liner and do the shelf liner trick, okay? So the shelf liner trick is super easy, but let's do that after we get the rudder installed. How about that? Okay. Is that okay?
Sure.
So we have these 2 grub screws in the sack here, just so you guys know. This is probably something that they're giving to us as a spare. I don't know if we need those. These are little trim tab thingies. You use these to help get up on step. These are just awesome looking little rudder things. Then this is gonna actually feed into help cool the ESC, or the motor in this case, and the ESC. And so that's where the water comes from, guys, is from the rudder assembly itself. If you look at this, it's got an inlet here. It's actually down there. Watch this.
That's weird.
Yeah, but you see what's going on? It goes in here and it's ported through this inlet. So it's gonna go into this. And I might be screwing myself by doing that first, but I might not be. I'm not really sure. And then we have nylocks, and it looks like we're probably about 2 meters. We might be 2.5 millimeters. Yeah, 2.5 millimeters. Now, just to show you that the tools that come in the kit are right here, I'm just gonna show you that they do include the kit. Yep, that works. And then this will hold the tool. But in my case, because that will work, I've now proven it out to you. And I'm gonna use a tool that's a lot easier for me to hold on to, which is this. That's a 5.5 millimeter. And since it's a nylock, there might be a little bit of resistance, so I'll just back this off. Okay, there's one. If you guys like the long format content on Brian Phillips RC, make sure you smash the like button. It really helps for the algorithm on YouTube to not punish us as bad as it wants to, because long format is a dying art, evidently. People just want to watch shorts as they poop.
That's true.
So, we're gonna put this right here. And then this thing, that's where the servo is gonna go in. And they've already glued the nut on the bottom. You can see they put a little rubbery glue on there.
Oh, so you just have to stick it through.
You have to stick it through, but see, this is the trick of the day. Okay, and then the grub screws. Yeah, there we go, okay. So you can move this to different settings if you wanna get more throws or less throws from the same movement. Pretty cool, huh? So once that's in position there, I'm just trying to think what direction I wanna drive the screw from. Well, obviously I wanna drive it from over here. So I'm gonna put the screw in this side, and the nut's gonna be in here. So Camera crew's probably gonna have to grab my nuts here in a second. So we may need to pause for that. But what I'm gonna do is I'll get this one started and then let's see if this one goes well. Oh yeah.
Looks like it.
Yeah, that's pretty good stuff. All right. Let's see if it tightens down nicely. Okay, very good. Let's see if I need to get my alignment done. This one's gonna be a little bit more tricky, so what I'll do is I'll actually lay it onto the tip of my driver, 2.5 millimeters. Slide it in there, and you see it's just kind of a weird angle, so this might be good to have like a ball link or a ball end, or the one that came with it if you really prefer. Okay, the other option is you can actually fold these out of the way.
Those look sharp.
They are not as sharp as you might think,
okay.
but they are definitely sharper than nothing. So you can loosen this and get it out of the way. Yep. See, I'm just going to spin the whole assembly like that. Okay. Then I can get in here and tighten that screw. Okay, so camera crew is going to grab my nuts real quick. Okay, so while we were, the camera crew was reaching around for my nuts, I was playing with my grub screws, which is awkward. It seems like a waste of effort. But I did do that for a reason so that, so I could show that this does work. Now, in my experience, you don't know if this servo is centered, but let's just assume it's going to be centered and we'll just get that ready. And I'll actually leave that in there, okay?
Okay.
So then I'm gonna grab my nut. I'm gonna grab a nut driver and I'm gonna try to put this on with a nut driver, and my guess is it's not gonna really go real smooth. See part of my problem there? So you might need to use forceps or something like that, but what I'll use is I'll use a provided tool because it's gonna hold it sideways. And I'm gonna put my finger on it like this. You see how my finger is preventing that from falling, front and back. And then I'm gonna reach in here and do the old reach around on my nuts. Should have the camera crew do that. Okay, so I'm just gonna, see what happened? Trick of the day, guys. Time for another trick of the day. That's why you come to Brian Phillips RC, so you can see the trick of the day. So the trick of the day is gonna be a piece of tape. There's two ways to do this. I'm gonna show you the easy way and the hard way. If you don't have needle nose pliers handy, you can take some tape and put it on the end of your tool, make a little bulge. Take your nut, nylon towards your tape, stick it just like that, okay? See, now that'll hold your nuts.
Okay.
I mean, I prefer to just have somebody else grab them, but tape works too.
It's kind of a tight spot.
It is a really awkward spot.
Hold your nuts.
So once you start, then you can use this tool to tighten it all the way down. But just don't get yourself in a position where you're gonna damage the threads as you torque it down, because that's exactly what I'm doing right now on the top bolt. You guys see that? Isn't that crazy? So I'm gonna undo this a little bit, and then I'm gonna turn it like that. There, now we're good. Now I can just turn it until it's tight. Now again, you probably don't need help making these decisions, because really at the end of the day, you know, if you're watching this, you're into this stuff, you already know how to do a lot of these things. But if you're not, or you're brand new to the hobby, we wanna help make it as painless as possible by showing all the painstaking steps it takes to enjoy the hobby. Okay, being a little bit facetious there. 2.5 millimeters. I'm gonna turn this. That does look like a knife. You know what I bet that is? I bet that's supposed to cut weeds. They like straight up look like knives.
They do.
What the heck?
Yeah.
I wonder if they're supposed to be knives. So anyway, guys, again, this is not for a 0 through 3-year-old.
Right.
So if your 3-year-old wants it, you should be good to go.
If you're expecting your 3-year-old to do your lawn care with a boat,
That's right.
boat maintenance.
So let's talk about this. See how this has that kink in it? I don't like that. And there's excess. Look, excess. I'm taking this back out. Yeah, like that. You do not want that kinked, because that's going to cause all sorts of ruckus. And not in a good way kind of ruckus. We're talking bad ruckus.
Okay.
Okay? So now the next step is I need to get batteries plugged in here. I'm not even sure if it'll initiate on 2S, but what I'll do is I'll plug this in for now, just so I can like get the thing running.
Okay.
These batteries, looks like this one is done, channel number 1. Channel number 2 is also done. But you know, the truth is, we just did a plane with this. This is just a 4S 2200, so I'll just plug that in just to see if things will work. Now there's no throttle hold on this, and you don't want to get things next to your shaft. Okay, so it's flashing. Watch yourself, please. See it flashing?
Oh, it's flashing, yes, I see.
Turn this on. Okay, so you can tell it changed the state. Oh yeah! Now look, steerable. But I haven't tightened my grub screw. And I just wanted to make sure there was no throttle, so I'm gonna test it quick. That shaft is doing some major work. Okay, so I'm putting this straight, and then I'm gonna torque it down. Now, I am probably of the mindset that I'm thinking I'm gonna wanna put this into the innermost hole so I can impact a larger amount of change as we're driving. And you might be of the same, now that was stripping on me, so I'm gonna go to a higher quality screwdriver. You guys catch what I just said there? Mm-hmm. That grub screw was wanting to strip. I have seen that so many times over the years. If you get the crappy Chinese included ones, they like to do that. Mine did not have a problem. So I would suggest having a high quality set of tools if you can. I mean, sure, could you get the job done? I don't know. If it strips, you can't. So mark against it for that. But truth is, I'm still gonna keep all this stuff.
Right, yes, of course.
Even though it might not totally work. Right?
Right.
Okay. Glad we have an agreement on this. Okay, so this battery is not the battery we're planning on using, but we've established that since it works, I can go ahead and unplug this. Okay, so it's gonna be liquid cooled. Now, if you're using two batteries like we will, we'll put them in series by plugging them each in. Now, here's the trick of the day. You guys getting a lot of trick of the days today, okay? This thing you don't wanna lose because it's kind of handy to have, but it's gonna be, you know, maybe just generically for this boat. Okay, you follow what I'm saying, camera crew? So you see what I'm doing here? I'm trying to do this in such a way that it just slips over and it's quite easy to keep. But then the other option would be put it in a bag because I don't want to accidentally unplug that cable. There's a ferrite core here. This shaft won't spin, but this does, okay? So there's a lot of different places you could put this, but I just don't want it to end up in there, okay? Right. So that's why I was thinking, two ways to skin this cat. I'll do it the easy way. I'm gonna unplug this servo. I'm gonna slide that through, give it a loop, and guess what? I got another ferrite core. I'm only doing this for storage, folks. See, now it's plugged in, and look, if we need it, we can get it out of there quick, and I don't have to go searching for the utility that would otherwise be in the boat. All right, so now we have to make our little shelf liner trick like we do in the airplanes all the time. So I'm gonna just go ahead and pull each of these off.
There's only a Velcro on one side of this, isn't there?
Yes, watch. See this, guys? I'm gonna just stick this down. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna do this for all of them, but I'm not gonna bore you with the details for each step because once I've done one, it's identical. So we're gonna do that and we'll come right back. So we didn't finish the off-camera stuff, but I just figured something out accidentally. This will go under both. I just slipped it under just to show you. You can slide it under, see? It just went under there. Okay, so my objective now is to just make this strap operate around both so that I can put both batteries in. And in the event that I want to use just one battery, the shelf liner, the way this works is, first of all, using the utilities that come with the boat. And so I'm gonna keep this for another project, of course, obviously. But if you have Velcro, you're fine, right? Except if you have the soft to the soft, it never works. Or if you have the hard to the hard, it doesn't work. So what you can do is, even if you have to go like that, and this is a 4S, so you'd be using a single pack, you can still do that, okay? It's still gonna hold that thing in there because that shelf liner makes it so it doesn't slip, okay? It's been an amazing thing that's really, worked really well for us over the years. And so for a long time, I just was like, whatever, I'm just not gonna do anything. And it just got to where the battery slipped kind of a lot. And obviously in the airplane world, it makes a big difference because your center of gravity changes. Well, in the boat world, it does technically make a difference too. I'm just hoping that we're getting this correct and that when we put those batteries in there, we need to be able to move the battery slightly in case the boat were to lean or list to one side or the other. See how I'm using these terms like I know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, that's great.
It's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
I'm proud of myself. list,
We'll see.
AKA tip.
If you're wrong,
Somebody will
people
tell
will
me.
tell us.
And by the way, that reminds me, if you guys are brand new to Brian Phillips RC and you think I know what I'm doing, then just wait longer. I mean, I do sometimes.
Sometimes.
But at the end of the day, we really enjoy this hobby. The hobby of, motorboating. I've enjoyed motorboating from how long have we been together? For a while now. We are kind of old now.
That is true.
Our kids are gonna love this channel.
That'll be great. Yep,
to
thanks.
understand all of it.
Yeah.
Like, that's sick, Dad. Stop talking. Just shut up. Never say anything again. That's all right. It's all part of the show. You'll get it someday, children. But by the way, if you are a child watching this and some of these comments go right over your head, that's okay. You have good parents. And if they don't go right over your heads, sorry. But at the end of the day, we do really enjoy putting this footage together for you. So ways to support us, as I mentioned before, buy from the links. Easiest way. And we say that all the time because I think people forget that it actually matters. Like we have a family of 4 and that's like how we pay our bills and stuff.
Actually, we have a family of 6.
Well, we have 4 kids.
We have 4 kids.
That's right.
Yeah.
Sometimes
That's
I
how that
misspeak.
math works.
Sometimes I say we have 6 kids.
You do that every once in a while.
Just don't ever
No,
trust anything.
there's just 4.
This guy's a liar. You told me he had 6 kids. He only has 4. What a loser. So yeah, so we have a lot of childrens.
Yes.
But it's okay. We like it that way. Okay, see this? I'm having trouble getting this one through.
I noticed.
It's fitting, but it's just kind of awkward.
There's just lots of stuff in the way.
It's just lots of stuff. And so I'm gonna try another useful trick. Now this useful trick may not be something that you have up your sleeve because you may not keep surgical tools in your kitchen. But if you're anything like me, you'll have surgical tools in your kitchen.
Tell your wife we're sorry.
They're forceps. That's what they're called. And just because they used them on MASH that one time doesn't mean... Did you ever see MASH?
Yes, I've seen MASH. I'm not that sheltered.
I just remember
I've
the
seen it
most
like one time.
depressing song in the history of songs. And it always came on at bedtime. So it's like, I hate MASH. Because I'm a kid. I was a kid then.
You had to go to bed.
Yeah, now I'm just like, I'm not going to bed. I don't need to sleep. That's why I was asleep at 6 o'clock in front of the TV.
So I'm sleeping on the couch.
Until 6 o'clock a.m. If the sun doesn't wake you up on the couch, you did something wrong. This one's really being a pain in the neck. Okay, so I pulled this out. I'll stick it in the other side.
Oh.
See if I get lucky. It's not like you would absolutely have to have multiple straps, but I would probably suggest in this case it'd be a good idea to go ahead and do that if you can. See, there it's going. Now it's going. See, I'm just come over from my left shoulder. I can't stop what I'm doing. It's working. See? There it is. Okay, that's my right shoulder.
Well, I know, but I can see it.
Okay, whatever you say, honey. You know what they say, kids? Happy wife, happy life. Those are words I live by.
Yeah. No.
Okay, so there it is, folks. The Vector SR80 Pro. Doesn't even have a lid on, but I said it really announcery. You want to see what it looks like all done?
Yeah.
Okay, so it has a tab, plastic. Feels like fiberglass. It's got a hole in it, but it's taped over. I don't know why that is. Maybe that's an injection hole, like where they were using to injection mold the thing. How the heck does this work?
You having trouble getting your tab in the hole?
Oh, it goes in. I wasn't in the right spot. I thought I was, seriously. Okay, and then this drops down, and it does make quite a seal. That is really eager. It's like, get me out of here. I want to go for us. Ride. Boat. Is it boat ride? Is that what it is?
Ride? That doesn't sound
So we're
right.
gonna pause and clean up, come right back. All right, so the 2 batteries are done. And so what we're gonna do is, since these are in series, we can still use a parallel, or we can still use a voltage alarm, and it's gonna tell us when the voltage drops on this. And you're like, but Brian, there's 2 batteries. Don't you need 2? Well, you could hypothetically do that if you wanted. But we're just gonna do it with 1. And you can see this is gonna show you what the voltages are. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna get ready to go out. Now, you don't have to use 2 batteries. Like if you had, say, a 5004S pack, you could use that. But I would suggest staying close to that 5200 milliamp hour size class. And if you're confused about the batteries, if you don't know what 4S means like this is a 3300 milliamp hour. This is 4S. You can tell because there's 5 wires, okay? And then this is the discharge lead. That's what plugs into your device. This is what plugs into the charger so that it can balance each of those 4 cells that are in series. So the positive to the negative, hooks to the positive of the negative, hooks to the positive of the negative, hooks to the positive of the negative, and then these two come out to your load, AKA your device, okay? So this big red wire is in parallel with this red wire, and this black is in parallel, meaning they're common, meaning they are touching. The copper or solder joint is touching. So if I were to lick these two, then it would go and it would hurt and it would discharge very quick. And if I licked these two, it would do the same thing, except it's a much smaller wire, so the current potential is exactly the same. It's just that it goes through a smaller wire, so it'd probably melt first before this would like keep burning me longer.
Great.
So if you're making torture devices, you know. So that's 4S. If you have a 2S, then a 2S, gosh, do I even have a 2S?
Yeah, you have a 2S right here.
Oh, yes. A 2S is going to have a different amount of cells. Now, these packages still have one discharge and then one pair of cells in series. So the positive to the negative and the negative to the positive. Here, see? But parallel would mean these are connected red to red and black to black. In our case, we're hooking this black one to that red one, and then those two, the black and the red, go out to the device. But it's all built in, and you don't have to know or understand how it works. You just need to do it. So when you turn this thing to the side, then you have to yank that out, and it has a pretty good amount of yankage needed. Here, touch my seal. Yes, wonderful.
Okay.
Okay? So now let's talk about battery placement. Battery placement is a critical part of a successful boat venture.
We don't know good boat terminology yet.
Boat venture.
Boat venture? Okay.
It's obviously correct. Boat venture.
Your lead's gonna reach?
Well, they will. I'll make them reach. But
Okay.
the truth is, what's gonna happen is I could go diagonal with my straps and probably get them a little bit better. And by the way, I do try my best to get my hands out of the way so you can see, but it's like there are certain times when it's kind of hard to do that, okay?
Yeah.
So this voltage alarm will chime when it reaches. In this case, I'm gonna go to 3.3, okay? There may be low voltage cutoff in this boat, and if there is, we'll find out because it won't chime in time.
Okay.
Okay, so now, because this is on, you can tell because there's an LED in the LED spot. These two can now be plugged in to their respective plugs. Now, it doesn't matter which one goes to which, but my suggestion is whichever one reaches is where you go. But you just notice where the prop is and whether or not you would like to destroy the things that get close to it.
Okay.
Like your
So you
shirt
should-
tail. If you're worried about your shirt tail, be careful.
So you should maybe spin the boat.
Or your
before
belt.
You do that?
Watch, see this? Now here's the other one. Now this is gonna initiate immediately. Note to self, 2 cells, 2 lipos, flight packs, boat packs, whatever you wanna call them. 2 maritime packs need to have equal wear and tear on them. If you put a brand new one with an old one, it will not work well because you are passing the current potential through both batteries because they're in series. Keep that in mind, folks. It's now live, okay? Look at this motor. It's a D3720, which means 37 millimeters by 20 millimeters, and it's 1750 kilovolts. No, rotations per volt, not kilovolts. KV stands for kilovolts too, but RC has adapted it to whatever they want it to mean.
Yeah.
So kilovolts is like a real thing, but KV stands for rotations per volt. So if you have a 14 volt system, 14 times whatever, so it's like 14,000 volts, 14,000 rotations per volt or something. I don't know, whatever. Did I scratch this?
No, it was scratched.
What the heck?
It was.
It was in a sack though.
I know. No, it was
All right,
scratched. I
guys,
took it out.
I'm just gonna mark this down as sample. but I really don't know. If yours was scratched, I might be kind of annoyed if I was scratched. So get the wife's silver touch up and do it. Truth is, I'm probably gonna scratch it myself, but I'd be pissed if I had one like that that came scratched. So just don't look at that angle.
Okay, just do this side.
We do this when we review products, just so you guys know, okay, it turns way more that way than this way. Did you notice that? More that way than this. Okay. Then also, yeah, it's got some throttle. And yes, there is a reverse. Is there a reverse? There's not a reverse. Are you seriously kidding me?
There's not a reverse?
Hold on a second. Oh.
Nope, that's still forward.
I can't tell what this does. There's some switch. We're gonna read the manual to figure this out. We'll come right back. So that's the amount of displacement in the trigger movement before it engages. So it's either a 5 to 5 or a 7 to 3. So they suggest 7 to 3. Which means you have to like move the throttle stick further before it engages. That thing blows.
It does. A lot.
I'm really like not happy that there's not reverse on this.
Are there reverse? Is there reverse
Yeah.
on the other little ones?
On the other little ones? Yes, there is. So you'll want to be careful because reverse, just like thrust reverse helps on airplanes, reverse in boats can be like the difference between complete and utter failure and complete and utter success. So we're gonna see, but here it is, guys. The Vector Pro SR80 Pro, excuse me, the Vector SR80 Pro, ready to run. Amazing, super fun. We're gonna go run it. And hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you wanna buy one for yourself, check it out. Links in the video description below. Complaints, scratches, annoying. Other complaints, no reverse. But you can always add a thrust reverse ESC if you decide to, but just make sure you get a maritime ESC so that it has liquid cooling, okay? And beyond that, looks pretty good from Volantex RC. Can't wait to get it out and try it. Stay tuned, guys. So much more pond action and the ordinary runway action right around the corner here on Brian Phillips RC. So thanks for coming by. And don't forget, if you want to support us in other ways, you maybe don't want this boat or you've already got this boat and you were just looking at it to see an answer to a question, or if I had a similar conflict you did, then you can support us with PayPal for one-time donations, Patreon for monthly support, YouTube super thanks for one-time donations, and YouTube members for another mechanism of monthly support, any of which are always welcome. But we still firmly say this every time, and we believe it truly. Smash the like button, click the bell for notifications when you subscribe, and just buy amazing products when you see something that comes across your feed that you can't live without. And if we helped you answer a question or set up a radio, or you just enjoyed watching me fail miserably and you want to prove to me just how bad we did, then definitely click the link in the video description. And by the way, if you click the link in the video description below, sometimes there's more questions that we didn't answer. And we apologize, we try our best to answer as many as possible. But if we did miss something by chance, you can check there and we'll help to get you in touch with a manual, okay? So if a manual exists, it's almost always available there. You can also check the current pricing, and that's why we don't talk about pricing, because we never really know if you're gonna be watching this in 2 years, okay? And then also the components that come with it are gonna be generally as we describe, or we'll let you know. This one is an optional level. Okay, so you should be able to buy this with or without the ready to run option, which would include the transmitter and of course the batteries. So if you've already got a receiver you want to use, you've already got a transmitter, you've already got batteries, there's different finish levels. So check the one you want. And Volantex RC historically has done a really nice job on other products we've reviewed. So super excited to see this in the water. And we appreciate you guys being here on Brian Phillips RC. So much more right around the corner. Thanks for watching.